Hello. So on this channel, I have always brought different people from different career trajectories. So today I have a very interesting chap. He's Rahul Kanodia, originally from Kolkata, now in Bangalore. So someone who started his career with indirect tax post CA, moved to stat audit of another big four firm, and then now has shifted to finance. So I mean all the kind of variations that you could have seen in his career. So welcome to the show, Rahul. And quickly tell us
Hi,
something
Anurag.
about yourself before we plunge into the questions.
Thank you for having me here, Anurag. So I'll just give a brief about myself as I how I started my career and all. So I completed my academics from Central Indian School, Havada, then did my graduation from UC College, Calcutta. And coming back to my CA and CS career, prior to that, I would just give a brief about my family. So I belong to a very mid-sized family wherein my father is a small businessman, my mother is a homemaker, and I have a younger sister who is currently working in a CA firm in Calcutta as a company secretary. When it comes to my CA or CS career, so I never had an inclination to be a CA. Since inception, I wanted to become an ethical hacker, wherein after completing my 10 and 12 in between, somewhere I was trying to explore something for ethical hacking. I used to follow one of the renowned ethical hackers, Ankit Fadia, and tried to do some tricks and methods to hack Facebook or Google Gmail websites, but I failed to do so. Then, looking from a small Marwadi family, as we all know that a guy from a commerce background is required to go with a flow into the CA forte. So therein, I was pushed to become a CA. So that is how it started my journey. And parallelly, when I was doing CA, so I thought of doing CS because at that point of time, eventually, I tried to analyze the top 10 companies' financial statements, wherein I could see that every company secretary is having an additional qualification of chartered accountant too. So, given a combination of CA and CS, I would have a better edge to look myself in the long run in one of the top 10 companies of India. So, that was my mindset while entering into CS. So, this is how I started my journey. During my CA tenure, so it was like going through the tuitions and all and something syllabus wherein I felt that I should go for CFA and all, but I could not go because always had an interest towards finance rather than tax. But it was like everyone used to say that CA is enough to do everything and anything. So this is how it happened. Now, coming to the value propositions which I learned from my family, it was like I always learned from my father and mother that how to build or make a family, like परिवार को बांध के कैसे रखा जाता है. It was always my upbringing or culture. It happened. And when it comes to my articleship tenure, so I worked mostly with my brother there. So I always learned that it's completely different from the personal world, that is the attachment or kind of emotions. The professional world, people expect something different. What are the nitty-gritties and principles which you follow, and what are the qualities which you need to carry? So therein, it was a very good learning when it comes to my articleship tenure too. So this is how I ended up my journey of becoming a CA.
And then post qualification, how did the story pan out for you?
So post qualification, Anurag, I was during my GMCS tenure, wherein I was looking for different opportunities to different connects. But as you know that almost every CA who is pursuing CA or who have pursued CA always have a dream to work with one of the big fours. So that was my inclination. So I tried to enter into different segments. Like I tried for EY Calcutta also, but I could not crack because EY Calcutta at that point of time I had a mindset that people with better experience or better rank holders should be opted for or chosen for. So I did not belong to that category. But when it comes to Bangalore, so therein we see that there is means immense opportunity in Bangalore. So that was an edge there. And since GST was booming, so there were more opportunities in GST. Also, when I talked to the seniors, I always also discussed with you at that point of time, I think so. So it was like everyone was like that you should opt for tax. Tax is a better area to, and it will grow in the longer period of time. So that is how I entered into tax.
And
So that was a good experience. When it comes to PwC, means it was a very wonderful experience working there.
okay, so tell us something about like prospects about taxation as a career. And this is our focus question. In terms of
Okay.
you've seen a big four indirect tax from a very, very close quarter. You work for marquee clients like LinkedIn in PwC. So, what is the prospects of someone who wants to build a career in taxation? Now I'm talking about taxation overall. Before we, in the next question, we'll talk about specific fields of that. So, taxation, मतलब किसके लिए अच्छा होता है? Who are the people who would do well in taxation?
So Anurag, since inception only, when I was in CA also and right now also, I see tax from a different tangent itself. Like when we talk about a CA or finance profile, so finance is a buffet of dishes wherein we see taxes is a particular dish. So therein, when people opt for tax, so they have to look from their perspective that what is their forte, whether they're looking for tax or not. And in terms of tax also, how we see tax as a career, that the industry reads tax as one. However, when it comes to the consulting firm like Big Fours and other firms, so therein tax have different variants. This particular dish have different variants like direct tax, indirect taxes, transfer pricing, then GMS, that is mobility sector individual taxation, then mergers and acquisition tax also. They have came into a new different segment, which is there since I think 7 to 8 years, what I believe. So this is how 5 to 6 segments they have divided into. Now, tax as a career, I always believed, and right now also looking at the market practice, I believe tax is a very good career. Like working in the indirect tax practice also, since when I joined indirect tax practice, it was somewhere in the month of March 2017. What I got to know from my partners, directors, we used to discuss about how was the practice earlier and how it is growing. So, like in the month of October 2016, PwC Bangalore indirect taxes has a strength of around 25 people. But over a period of 1 or 1.5 year, there was a strength of around 80 to 90 people, what we have seen. So, in terms of the strength of employees, it has grown tremendously. Looking at the revenue side also, since there was a GST implementation, we saw good boom. And apart from that, even now, the revenues have increased from when we compare it from the past 4 to 5 years. Now, in terms of just not in terms of big fours, even we see that different consultants like Dhruva, Khetan, or whosoever like ClearTax, BDO, GT, they are growing tremendously. Right now, 6 to 7 months ago, in fact, Deloitte announced in its town hall that the highest revenue generating area was tax, though there are expenses and costs too. So, in terms of revenue or in terms of that growing business model, looking at the vision of 5 trillion economy of India by 2024 or 25, and right now currently we are standing at around 3. So I believe that if everything goes on the same pace, so even tax practice is going to grow, because always we see that every company needs to structure their tax in a proper manner, otherwise things get disturbed from all the aspects. So tax is a very strong point when it comes to the finance part. So on that part, that is there. However, when it comes to consultancy and industry, so consultancy comes with their own challenges. Like I have seen people, when I talk to people, few of the people are of my age or youngsters, they have lost interest in tax. The reason is behind that they don't see promotions or growth in a fast pace. So on those terms, what I believe is it's not about tax only. It's all about all the sectors of practice. Because earlier, when Big Four was on a growing phase, there was a tendency that people who are doing well, they'll grow or they'll be promoted within a year or two. So now Big Four is trying to curb that practice, that there is a mechanism for rating or structuring. So that has to be aligned. But even a good performer would be promoted with a standard timeline which is defined therein. So that is how the market practice, when we are discussing the how the perception changes from people's point, that there is some kind of gaps in taxes or there was a boom earlier in tax and now something is lacking behind. So it's not so. It's just that earlier, when since I discussed with you that the practice was of around 25 people in PwC Bangalore, it grown to 100 people. So the requirement was, I would say, of around 70 people. But looking at the boom of GST implementation, it was to 100. Now when the practice is trying to get shrink or stabilize, so therein people come with a notion that the practice is not scalable or something like that. So there is no such thing. It's just that tax is a very niche profile, wherein people who wants to pursue their career in tax, they should go ahead with it. Apart from that, what happens is that when you come out of the consultancy practice, because as of now we are discussing just about the consultancy point of view, when you come to the industry perspective, industry looks tax consultant or tax professionals with a different tangent. They expect the tax consultant should be aware of other tax areas like direct taxes, and apart from that, transfer pricing or individual taxation, wherein there are some kind of gaps. And somehow what happens is a particular tax professional tries to lose that connect with the accountancy perspective. At times that becomes a major challenge when they when they try to pursue their career in tax in the long run. So that is the basic thing. Otherwise, what I would say is that tax is a very good career. Even mid-size and small size firms are very well doing well. So, and coming back to my experiences, when you asked for that, what was your experience when you handle clients like LinkedIn? So, I would say that it was a very wonderful experience I had. Means I could not have got this experience ever if I would have been any other firm or any other sector or any other department. That is what I believe. Because like when it comes to the being a tax professional, we look for all of means minor issues too. Like I would share an example. What happened with me was out of LinkedIn only I was handling few of their discussions or meetings. So we need to be very much cautious when we use the word would or could or might. So that kind of experiences I have. So now when I imply means I try to put them across in my finance profile also, I feel that there is those learnings are very much helpful to me. So on that perspective, it was a very wonderful experience. Secondly, when you talk about that, how was your experience in any of the organization, be it in Big Fours or be it in the industry? Apart from the clients or set of work, everyone knows that working in an MNC, a guy is doing something good or means at least doing something good. But apart from that, when you come from the negative perspective or you have a concern, that concern comes from a perspective of team or the colleagues what you have. So I would say that I had a wonderful team at that point of time. Like I had 4 layers of reporting, but it was very well means all of us had trust. So I used to handle the client independently. Therein also there were no such gaps. And during this GST implementation phase, I had an opportunity to understand how the business functions. Otherwise, what happens when you join in between, you don't get to understand the business. What are the taxation requirements are looked upon. But while restructuring or replanning the tax structure, you get to have this opportunity too. So on those terms, I had a very wonderful experience working with PwC as an indirect tax associate.
Is there a concern now that technology will be the major driver of the indirect tax practice? And hence the focus will shift from taxation more like it's a more a technology driven ASP utilities and that sort of a thing, in especially with respect to indirect taxes. Is that the general view?
I would say it's partially true because even we had such concerns. Means when I was working in PwC, even I had such concerns that whether it will be technology driven only or not, but not completely. I would say that the technology which is being handled or how the technology is handling this GST, ASP or GSP, it needs professional experts every time. Even when it comes to this big four companies or other consultants, they have a complete technology setup. However, this technology setup is being run by professionals like chartered accountants or other professionals who are experts in GST. So without the support of GST professionals, it cannot be maintained. So therein, how means people like us, or we are of a young age. So how we think that earlier there was a phase wherein people have grown in tax. However, going forward, that growth is not there. I would not say completely. Somewhere I also feel a shrink there in the practice in the long run or in the growth in the long run.
And what
However, the
about
stagnant.
indirect tax vis-a-vis direct tax or expat tax, and then let's say Bangladesh taxation for a Calcutta, someone who wants to stay in Calcutta, because some views would be appreciated from your end.
So, Anurag, indirect taxes, as we discussed comparatively, when we say about direct taxes, direct tax too have immense growth like we are having in indirect taxes. Because what we say, the word direct tax or corporate tax itself says that direct taxation. So, in the industries become more cautious when it comes to the direct tax part. And there is every day we see that some of the new sections or provisions are getting implemented, like equalization levy, which was implemented long back. However, there were some challenges which were frozen right now. Apart from that, faceless appeal. So how faceless appeal people are reading, I discuss with professionals here also. So it's like that after faceless appeals, the practice would curb down or something. But I got to discuss with few of my colleagues also. So they are like the checklist or the things which are there in the faceless appeals. So to explain them also, the physical appearance is required. So nowhere in terms of this appeals and in terms of scrutiny, you can curb this physical appearance. So therein the professionals are always required to handle these cases. So I don't think that professionals will face any challenge when it comes to this practice. Apart from that, recently I was discussing with one of my partners. So what I got to know from one of my colleagues, that even the big law firms are right now very much keen to set up their tax practice. Like even they are having it, but right now people are rigorously following or trying to set up their tax practice as one of the core practices in India. So anyways, people are looking that there are means additional exposure. Like when you talk about TP, so transfer pricing is mainly all about international taxation. So international taxation, basically, when we think about what is international taxation, is about that having this arm's length price. Transaction should be at arm's length price. Apart from that, what happens is right now when we see that every company is planning to come to India, or there are companies who are working from India, the foreign companies. So therein the international transactions comes into picture, wherein the top management becomes very much cautious. So therein that opportunity is there for people. But in terms of transfer pricing, what I see is that when you look in the industry, you cannot represent yourself as a transfer pricing professional only. Therein you need to have some knowledge about direct tax or indirect tax as a combination of all, or else the survival is better in big fours or few companies like Dhruva, Khaitan, Video GT, who are having that good setup or good set of clients. So that is the point. Now coming to the second point is about mobility, that is GMS. So mobility, how it is all about is mobility basically deals with individual taxation, and on a broader scale they look for expat taxation. So whenever the expat employees are involved, that becomes a major role for mobility team. So therein also, in terms of big fours, they are having good set of clients, and the revenue and the team size is very big, wherein people are, means the clients are very much require keen to have those services. So there are opportunities. But when people see, I would on a broader level compare that when people come out of the big fours or the consultancy, the industry requires them to have an additional knowledge, that is an overall knowledge of tax. Therein that some of the concern gets raised. When it comes to the Bangladesh taxation is mainly driven from Calcutta itself, because it's a Bengali culture. What would we say in Calcutta and even in Bangladesh? So there, people like us are more familiar to those laws because the law itself has been drafted in this Bengali language. There are translations in English language, but what I could interpret or what I got to know was the translation have some gaps. So people who are well versed with Bengali language are better to survive in those practice, and because of this arbitrage opportunity, so because we have this more professional set of clients, so we are getting good set of clients from Bangladesh. And since all the big fours are closely connected, globally connected, so that becomes an edge for us. So on those terms, in terms of Calcutta, we have good practice of Bangladesh taxation.
And my final question then, why did you quit taxation, which was so interesting, and now you are part of India, uh,
India One ATM.
India One ATM, which is like a white label ATM. So then why did you shift from taxation to finance? And are you actually enjoying finance overall more than taxation? See, why I am asking you is not, it is not just about your life, it is about someone who is at a threshold of making a decision, has, let's say, got taxation and finance as conflicting offers from two different companies. So then what should be the parameters? So for example, in your case, you could say that I am more outgoing and I want to see the larger picture and I don't want to be confined to one particular domain. So what should be the pros and cons also that we would like
So
to understand?
Anurag, I would say that I have no regrets being a part of the tax team. Means I was very well doing good when it comes to the technical point of view, or when it comes to the client facing role. It was very well that I was doing very well. But after a span of time, like after spending 6 months or 1 year, what I felt was that this is not the role which I would like to have in the long run. Because how I read as a tax professional, this is my understanding, means maybe on a narrower level, I believe that when I was a tax professional, I used to look for a client from a notes point of view, that out of the complete financials I have to handle few of the notes of the financials. But I always had that craze of being a chartered accountant, that the complete financials should be on my table when I'm trying to, maybe means right now also I'm unable to interpret or understand everything, but I should have a command on all the financial, on the complete set of financials. So that was my inclination or my interest that made me shift to finance. So after spending around 6 months or 1 year, I discussed with my colleagues also, with my partners therein, that I want to move out of this role. But looking at the practice, and it was like that you should spend some more time, wherein in the initials you feel so that you would not like, but after spending more 6 months, I felt that I would not, means I would like to explore more. So I tried to explore more towards financial due diligence, because I was a part of few of the due diligence projects and all. So it used to look lucrative that some different kind of analysis and all we are doing. But when it comes to law, when it comes to tax, you're completely engaged in law. Apart from that, I had never had any issues with compliances, because it's a part and parcel of our life. But when it comes to law, I cannot spend my whole life just in terms of law. And when it comes to financial due diligence and all, so you have something extra or out of the blue to think about or experiment something or the other. So therein I decided to opt out of tax. And at that point of time, I had an opportunity for EY start audit, and I was since inception very much inclined towards this start audit profile, that you get to see different set of clients, you get to travel, which people craze for. So on those perspectives, I always had that craze. So I decided to move to EY Calcutta. Being from Calcutta, I should spend some time in Calcutta, and if I like Calcutta, it would be better from all the perspectives, like from personal and professional front both. I decided to come out of tax and look for start audit. So therein I was doing very well itself. It's just that eventually I got the opportunity of finance. And one more thing, what I think about taxes, from when you're into tax role, you can look yourself to the tax head level. But when it comes to finance, there's a broader level of opportunity, like you can become a CFO of any company or something. So therein I had that mindset that that will give me a better opportunity. Even when I was trying to look for opportunities, looking at the opportunities, I had limited opportunities of tax compared to finance, because finance is a broader level. Because if being from a start audit background also, I give my resume to you or someone else, so I get different kind of roles, be it AP, AR, financial reporting, FP&A, different segments. Though I don't have command on each and everything compared to tax, which is a complete niche profile, but therein you get an exposure or opportunity to enter into different segments and explore yourself. So those were my mindset while coming out of tax. And eventually, when I was working for Start Audit, I got this opportunity with from BTI Payments, wherein I am currently right now. So I joined BTI Payments as a senior manager revenue assurance, and I'm the financial reporting head. I believe that I am good with this role, or I am better with this role. I don't regret about the time I have spent with PwC, because I believe that because of those opportunities I am here. Without that, it was not possible. Without those opportunities, I would not have been in BTI Payments right now, because that is helping me a lot. Even being a finance professional, till the time you don't have command over tax, you are unable to survive. Be it from a reporting role, means revenue role, payables role, reporting role has got immense to do with taxation role. Because right now, what happens is everything is interlinked with tax. So you become answerable to all of those things. So right now, when I being in a finance profile also, how I interpret a finance is like I try to dig out something or the other. I try to go to the nitty gritties, which I learned from PwC itself, because being a tax professional, I had that edge there. So that is
Fantastic.
all about.
So your final
It does.
lines of advice to youngsters when they make this career decision.
So what I would like to advise them, as what I did, like when I was in PwC, after 6 months or 1 year, I realized that I need to explore something else. It happens that I believe that people are very much confused right now. So on the first point, I would say that if they're interested towards tax, they should opt for tax. Even if not, it happens like it was with me. If you're somewhere confused, you should explore. But after a certain point of time, you should decide what should be your next step. What happens is, with it happened with my colleagues, friends also, they want to come out of it, but they don't come out of it. So it happens like that. So that should not be the case. Somewhere you need to take those risky steps while coming out of it. That is the most important thing. So those
Fantastic.
steps needs to be taken either in the initial stage or after a certain point of time.
And something like, suppose I am my final question. Let's say I have worked for 1.5 years in taxation. So my CV is
Hmm.
all about direct tax or indirect tax. All the keywords are there. So if I put my CV in a job portal and someone will search for finance, there is no finance word. Then do I get an option to transit, or like you are exceptionally lucky or well networked there?
No, it's not so. You need to express yourself, I believe. I While I was in PwC, I gave my interview in Wipro, Northern Trust. I met with a partner in BDO also. So you need to express yourself that you are capable of anything and everything. It How it happens, not just for the sake of saying I am saying. When I went to PwC, I was new. Even right now, when we join any of the organization, it's completely new for us. It's just that you are able to correlate and you need to express it. You will be able to connect the dots. So what happens is people try to express that I have done tax only. You need to express yourself that you were interconnected with all other areas also, because an experience of 1 year does not become a big question when it comes to a different segment. People know that he was doing well or he is currently doing well, so he'll be able to handle those things also, because every new organization, they know that things are new to them. So that doesn't become a major concern every time. Somewhere it becomes it, so but not every time.
And I think startups are far more receptive to all new experiments also with people as compared to
Startups are
very.
far more receptive. Apart from that, it happened with me in EY only. When I joined on the first day, everyone were like, that you have come from tax to start audit. Why did you come? So people think tax professionals on a better stage compared to start audit professionals, which is not exactly so. Everyone have their own role. It's just that we have expertise on a particular segment, and on start audit we try to control with generalization of all the areas. So it's like that how it works. So people
Fantastic.
respect that, they understand that.
Wow, Rahul, it was quite an insight. So we've had Mr. Prateek Jain, who's the national partner for
Huh.
PwC Indirect Tax, Ms. Fatima Hunaid, who is like GT transfer pricing partner, and now we have you. Now, as a youngster, you have taught us a lot about taxation as a career, and I think the audience will really love what you expect. Thank you so much for coming on this show. and wish you the
Thank
very
you so
best
much,
for your
Anurag.
career, Rahul. And I'll share your LinkedIn connect in the description so that people can connect
Sure,
with you for mentorship. All right.
sure, Anurag.
All
Thank
right.
you so much, Anurag.
Bye bye.